And action. We're now recording. This is my disclaimer in the beginning. We are recording this Zoom meeting live for training and quality assurance purposes and also for content. So with that, let's take it away. Daylon, sorry to interrupt. You were telling us we are going to be talking about lead generation today. Very exciting.
Lead generation. Yes, Steve. Thank you so much for that. I always forget about the disclaimer. So thank you for interrupting and making sure we always start on track. So, okay, so 7 secrets to generate leads. I was saying that I've been in the industry, in the real estate industry. I actually started when I was 19 years old as a loan officer. And to me, that was Chinese, right? And not only that, but I had no idea what real estate was, much less the terms. Let me put this as an example. I didn't even know what escrow meant back then, having an escrow account. And it was difficult, you know, dealing with the terms, calling the banks and all that stuff. And just to make it more difficult, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know how to get leads from. I had no idea how to talk to people, what to say to people. And we didn't have the tools that we have today. But there's only one thing that I knew. And what I knew is that as a salesperson, my main job was to generate leads. So everybody here is a salesperson. And our focus should be at all times to generate leads. So we're not in the real estate business. We're in the lead generation business, because if we don't have leads, we don't have work. So the good thing is that maybe, you know, in sales, and that's the good thing about it, in sales, everybody is a potential client. Mom, dad, a family member, friends, your neighbor, anybody you meet is a potential client. Now, they might not buy from you right now, but they might know somebody that might be interested in buying, selling, leasing. So again, they're a good source to connect to their network. Plus, maybe they don't buy from you today, or they don't buy from you 3 years from now, but eventually, if you put to practice the tools and tricks that I'm gonna give you today, they might actually buy from you, and sooner than later. But not only them, they might refer you to a bunch of clients. So let's dig in, and let's start with secret number 1, which is know your sphere of influence. Now, if you've been coming to these trainings every single week, you probably heard us talking about our sphere of influence, working with your SOI, and why you should be working with your SOI. Well, like I mentioned at the beginning, when I first started, I had no idea. I didn't know anybody, so it was difficult. So I needed to create my own sphere of influence, meaning I needed to talk to people. I needed to talk to everyone that I'll cross paths with. I will meet people in the streets, coffee shops, school, grocery stores, you name it. Plus, I had to leverage my parents' people that they know, or my friends, or everybody that I come in contact with. They were my new sphere of influence. So I had to figure it out how to work with them. How can I show them that I could, you know, they could work with me as a real estate agent, or in that time as a loan officer. So I needed to sell myself. And what better way than to somebody that already know you somehow. So the takeaway point here is we got to learn how to mine your existing spheres of influence. People hate being sold, but they love shopping together. Especially they love shopping with friends. So figure it out how you can become friends with people that you just met. And sometimes it's a matter of, you know, talking to people, or if you go to the gym, you know, maybe people at the gym, if you like going to a Starbucks or a specific coffee shop, this is a good chance that you're gonna meet people there. It could be the barista, or if you go to grocery store, the cashier, or anybody at the grocery store, while you're in line to pay for your items, you can start communicating with them. And now more than ever, people are open to have a conversation with another human being, right? We all now in the internet, we're all on Zoom, we're not seeing a lot of people face to face, so everybody's open to now communicating. So take advantage of that. Let's go to secret number 2, which is email. Now, email, there's ways of doing the right way, and there's a way of doing the wrong way. And let's just focus on what are you gonna do with your emails? What are you gonna put in your emails? When are you gonna send it? So my recommendation is on your emails, make sure you can create your monthly newsletter. And this is key. You should send out a monthly newsletter. Some people do it every week. Some people do it like 5 times a week. I think that's too much. And people tend to just forget about it and not even look at it. And it probably happens to you. Just keep in mind all the newsletter you probably get from one company or one person every single day and see how you feel. But my recommendation with email is you gotta send a newsletter every single month. So what are you gonna put in your newsletter? Well, you can put things that you learned, things that you saw, deals that you did, a personal touch, or whatever's going on in your world right now. So let's say you just joined Broker Nation, for example. Now that's great news. You made a huge jump in your career and you started in the right, with the right foot and the right path. So this is something good to share about. So you can start by letting people know that you just joined this great company, offering you all these great tools and trainings, and let them know how excited you are to be part of this great business called real estate. So that's something great to put on your newsletter and start sending it to all your sphere of influence. I mean, everybody you have an email of, send it out to them in a form of a newsletter. And if you need help how to do this, how to set it up, what kind of platform to use, feel free to give us a call. We'll be more than happy to walk you through it and show you, little tricks and tips that you can use on your newsletter. But those are the things that you should consider. Email newsletters don't have to be hard and they don't have to be annoying. They just need to be effective. Now, think of newsletter, or rather, don't set your expectations too high when you're sending out a newsletter. Don't expect people to respond right away. Most people fail at this because they quit too soon. They send newsletter at least once a month, and that should be your goal. Once a month, send a newsletter, but focus on the big picture. It could take years for somebody to reply to that. But in the meantime, you're on their face every single month with some news or some information or tips or the latest in the market or what's going on with you in their email inbox. And that way, you're always in front of them too. So you got to hit people a different way. Email newsletter is one of them. Secret number 3, create a client dinner once a month. Now, I know what you're saying. Hey, Daylan, I don't have maybe the money, or extra money to just put a dinner for clients once a month, but it doesn't have to be expensive at all. Okay, it could be very simple. It could be a coffee. It could be anything. All right, and you can call it whatever you want, but the big picture, create a client dinner once a month. Discover how to turn a simple client dinner into a lead generation machine. And like I said, it does not have to be expensive. Take this, for example. Let's say that you have a closing and you're working with your buyer. Now your buyer is super excited that they were finally able to close on their new home. Him or the buyers and their family, they're super excited, that they're looking forward to the possibilities and parties they can do together and stuff like that. What if you offer to do a welcome home a dinner party? And it could be something as simple as, you can grab anything at the grocery store. Just, the chance here is for you to be able to leverage the people that your buyers know that they're gonna invite to this little party. And let me tell you something, most of the time, they are gonna most likely pay for the entire thing. They're not gonna want you to pay for anything. It happens to me and it happens all the time. And that's something that I tend to do every single time that I'm working with a first-time home buyer or buyer closing on their first home. I like to offer them to do a welcome home party, or maybe I'm not saying it right, but a housewarming party rather. So they have a chance to invite family, friends, people from their own sphere over to the party so they can share their homes. They can share what their accomplishment. And that's a great chance that they will put you on a pedestal saying, thanks to my agent, I was able to achieve my real estate goals and dreams. And now you're the hero of the movie. And now you just made a ton of new leads. And they've now become part of your SOI. So think of that. Create a client dinner at least once a month. Now, what if you don't have any buyer, you didn't close on a house this month? Well, you can reach out to people that you have worked with in the past and do something similar to a dinner, and just share a coffee, a glass of wine, whatever it is, and just share a moment with them. And you'll see how you're gonna reap the benefits. Now let's go to secret number 4. Create, and this is kind of similar, create a client event once a month. Create a client event once a month. And here you can be creative as you want. A client event could be anything from information on refinancing a home, or upgrading a house, or first-time home buyers event. It could be any event that you can think of that you can invite more people to your event. So you can have a Zoom event right now if you want, if you don't want to have that many people getting together, but make sure you put some kind of event. It could be an informational event together to invite people over. Food, drinks, that's really up to you, but you don't have to spend much money doing this, or any whatsoever. So that's secret number 4. Secret number 5, call, text, and DM. And I had a meeting or a training, when was it? I think it was last week or the week before, that had to do with text messaging. Texting or direct messaging is the #1 way to communicate in 2020. If you do it without being intrusive, of course, but texting is the new way to communicate with people nowadays without being intrusive, and by giving them the chance to reply at their own leisure. So texting is giving them the chance or the space that they need, especially when you want to talk something about business. Texting could go out for anybody, and you can do this through a DM, through your social media platforms, and eventually, or my suggestion, that will lead to a phone call. So let's say you're shy making cold calling, or you're shy making phone calls to people that you haven't talked to in a while. Text messaging breaks the ice. So take that as a suggestion, and that's secret number 5. Call, text, and DM. Number 6, door knocking. Yes, I said it. Door knocking, it's a great way to generate leads. Now, why do I say door knocking? Well, first of all, you should be doing door knocking every single day if you can. Now, what are you gonna say when you go in somebody's neighborhood and start knocking on doors? Simple, you have a buyer. And it's true, you do have a buyer. Everybody that we're working nowadays in this market is a potential buyer. And you will see that we're getting tons of buyers ready to buy a home, yet there's not a lot of inventory. So if we cannot find listings, or we cannot find a property to sell to our customer, that means that we gotta go out there and start knocking on doors and see if we can potentially get a for sale by owner looking to buy, to sell, and we have a potential buyer for their home. Now, this is very simple. And what's the goal of doing this? To grow our sphere of influence. Let's say that person or your buyer doesn't end up buying this home. Now you made a new contact, somebody that you can potentially include in your newsletter every month, in your text messages, your DMs, and your phone calls. And eventually that person that's going to be now in your sphere of influence, you can leverage him, or you can leverage his people, his network, to be able to send out and more information. So definitely door knocking always work, especially when you're looking to get more inventory to be able to sell to your buyers. On door knocking, let's say there's nobody at home. Something I do, I always leave a handwritten note. I don't type it out, I write it and I leave it on the door. I usually grab a rock, whatever I find, that I can put the paper in there with the rock on it just to hold it. But a handwritten note is something that you can leave. It's a personal touch that you're leaving for the seller. They don't know you, but they see that you took the time to leave something, just letting them know that you were here, you're a real estate agent, you're the best real estate agent in the world, and you're looking for somebody that will sell a home for your customer or client. So secret number 6, door knocking. And last one, secret number 7, cold messaging is the new cold calling. Now I know number 7 is similar to the text messaging I was talking about, but cold messaging is a new way of cold calling. Now, what is cold messaging? Cold messaging is really simple, and it's a system that you should be using every single day. That means that you're gonna send a text message to people that you haven't even talked to in such a long time. You don't even know, but now you have a phone number and a name, and then you can send them text messages. Now, you can send mass text messages. And Steve went over this, I believe, in his trainings on how our system, Shine, can be used for sending out mass emails, or you can send out mass text messages. And this is key, and this is a great tool to have. Number one, you have your own phone number when you have your Shine tool or CRM. So you not giving out your personal phone number. So don't worry about that. But now you have this powerful tool that you can send out massive text messages from, and I'm pretty sure if any of you open up your phone right now, you're gonna have a lot of people in your contact database. What if you grab all those phone numbers, throw it in a system like Chime, and you send in a text message, news to one of your events, or any information that you can send out to relating to the real estate market, or the COVID-19, or how the real estate market is moving right now, how low interest rates are. I mean, the information is huge nowadays, and you can send that through a text message. That is called messaging. Now, there's other tools that you can put to use, and not really sure, maybe Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you send out this cold messaging, especially when through, not sure if Shime has it, but there are other systems that do have it, that you can track who saw the text messages, who's replying. How is it? I think who opened the text message, right? Who opened the text message, who read the text message, so you can keep track of who's actually connecting with you one way or another. Some might reply, some might don't. But now you know how to follow up with these people. And you can follow up with a call if they saw it. So now there's some engagement in there. If they're replying, good for you. Steve, now that we mentioned that, does Chime have that you can track?
It does. And as part of the system, you get a free virtual number that you can choose from a bank of 305 numbers, for example.
Okay.
And that virtual number you can send as part of the cost for no extra additional charge, up to 200 texts per day, mass texts per day. And anybody that replies back to that, it goes straight into your database, into your CRM, so you can see the activity stream, number one. And then number two, it forwards that text to your cell phone, your actual cell phone. So you can get a regular text on your phone too and reply that way, or through the app on your phone.
Awesome. All right, so I'm glad it does have that part, because that's one of the things about the good things about cold messaging is that you want to keep track of, who's reading the messages, who saw it, who read it, and you want to follow up with them. So it gives you a chance. Now you're following up with them with a call, and it's no longer a cold call because you already sent the text message. So the ice was already broken. There's already some kind of information from you, so you can just follow up on that. The idea is to eventually grow your sphere of influence, and that should be your goal every single year. It's mine every year to grow my sphere of influence by 1,000. That means I have to talk to and include in my sphere of influence at least 3 people a day. If I do that consistently for the rest of my career, imagine the amount of people that I'll have in my database that I will be marketing to, and I'll be communicating with, and I'll have business coming in every single day. And we want that for you guys as well. So always work on your sphere of influence, grow your database, and you will see how you will succeed in this business. So now you have my 7 secrets to lead generation. But the question is, how do you convert them to clients? Well, I'm not gonna cover that today, but I wanna invite you to the next training next Friday on how to convert leads into clients and close them. So please sign up for the next class. It will be on Friday, the following Friday. And it's going to be great because Steve is going to be covering other trainings throughout the week, which it will tie everything up by next Friday. And stay tuned for that one. So I hope everybody found that very helpful. I hope you put it to good use in your own business, and you will see how you will grow in no time. Do you have any questions? Please feel free to put it in the chat, or feel free to call me. We're here to help you. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dylan Rubido. I'm the real estate broker in the Doral branch for Broker Nation. And Steve Majeski is our marketing director, always available and ready to help you and anything you want related to marketing and also generating leads. Steve, so besides the class we're having on Thursday, what else we have? Do we have anything on Tuesday?
We do. And on Tuesday, I think we're going to talk about, I'm getting a lot of requests about YouTube and Instagram. So I think on Tuesday, we're going to talk about YouTube advertising and YouTube lead generation, generating leads with YouTube. There's a few agents that we have in our brokerage actually that are doing really well on YouTube. There's one in particular I'm thinking of that is doing very, very well generating his own leads on YouTube. And we have a few that are doing really well on Instagram. So those two platforms are working really good for real estate lead generation right now.
Excellent. So I'll be on Tuesday, and then Thursday
Yes.
we have the other one. Okay. So where do they go to register for those classes?
I just put it in the chat, www.brokernation.events. I'm glad you asked, Elon.
Awesome, man.
As usual, you guys should bookmark that. And I always post all of our new events there. Remember, every Monday is Mindset Monday. It's a great way to start your week strong with Daylon and me. I'll be joining you as usual. And on Friday, these Fridays, of course, Real Estate Friday, Tuesdays and Thursdays are for digital marketing, lead generation, and social media. So don't miss those.
Excellent. So make sure you register for those, and feel free to invite a friend or somebody that you have worked with in the past, another real estate agent, or anybody you know might take advantage of this trainings. I mean, these trainings are meant to be able to help you grow your real estate business, and you want everybody to have some kind of knowledge similar to it, so it makes it that cooperation even a lot easier and better for you. So, all right, guys, with that said, please have a great Friday. Stay dry, stay safe. It's pouring today, but have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you on Monday. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.